Welcome back to Proactive London, where I'm joined by Ankur Ghosh now. He's the founder and the CEO of SSV Capital. And Ankur, it's great to have you back. How are you?
Thank you. Great having me back. Yes, for sure.
It's been a few months, isn't it? I know that you've been a busy man. You've been getting this thing off the ground, having a lot of meetings, Correct. Basically hard at work. So why don't you just give us a bit of a summary of what you've achieved since we last saw you?
We at SSV Capital, a lot of things has been working in parallel, as I told in my last interview, and there were some groundbreaking commitments we had to categorically work on. Firstly, with SSV Capital, thankfully we are a listed company. We have got our LEIIC number from London Stock Exchange. Clients are really happy about that. As I told, we are listed on JP Jenkins. That's the primary focus, but more importantly, the projects we were working on, certainly the SmartPay, which was fintech, the PropTech, which was real estate, and the funds. So there have been a lot of developments through that. And I'm really happy to announce that we would be potentially going for a soft launch tomorrow of our SSV SmartPay at the House of Commons. And that would be a soft launch for our fintech and innovation QR payment disruption using the open banking framework. I have been attending various different meetings where I've been asked a lot about open banking. The government is looking into it. Bank of England is looking into it. More importantly, open banking is the next big thing. So we are introducing the first innovation, which is QR payment solution, which I think is going to bring a huge innovation as such. More importantly, on the PropTech side, I think we have familiarized. We had gone through the different alpha beta testing, and hopefully within the next quarter we are launching our PropTech platform for UK and worldwide. Now, the challenging bit was obviously launching the funds, SSV funds. So we are now we have signed agreement and we are launching a 50 million fund in Luxembourg in the upcoming months. So overall, we were working 4 different things in parallel. We have achieved various different milestones within that. Couple of months back, we have raised about £1 million. So it's a lot of investor confidence, you say. So with that confidence, we will go and take us to the next step.
All right. Well, let's drill down a little bit into those different parts. So you said you're off to the Commons tomorrow with SmartPay.
Yes. So basically we are getting a small award, Innovation Assets Excellence. So we thought that we were supposed to actually launch it on the 15th of November, but because we got this innovation, we thought that House of Commons was the best part of going and launching, or at least a soft launch. And after 3 months, we will therefore look into the commercial launch of SSV SmartPay.
3 months, you think, the lead time?
Potentially, that's what we are aiming for at the moment.
Okay. Funds, you said you've taken that to Luxembourg.
Yes.
What was the logic there?
Luxembourg, again, I love Luxembourg, right? If you go to say under the AIFM market or alternative investment fund manager, most of the companies, they basically like the challenges coming from Luxembourg, a lot of money over there. The LPs generally want to invest through the Luxembourg-based fund. So we have been talking on the VC side and on the angel investor side, but also more importantly on the fund side, we have been talking to a lot of LPs, and they have been suggesting Luxembourg was the best. So we did our research. Thankfully, I've got a great team under me. And obviously they have done their research, and we finally signed an agreement with Luxembourg, and hopefully within the next 5 to 6 months we potentially will cover all of it, and then we are scaling up to different horizon. Cross-border payments is another one through SmartPay. So this kind of funds is going to well approach the fintech and the PropTech sector. So within the fintech, we will be implementing cross-border payments. There will be banking transactions with it, and we have partnered with various different other companies. So lot to look into. Yes.
Yeah, there is a lot.
Yes.
And that's actually what I was going to ask you about in my next question, really, because you obviously talk to investors a lot. You've been getting positive feedback as far as I understand, but do you find that it's a bit of a challenge sometimes to try to explain everything you're doing, because there is a lot to it, isn't there?
Absolutely right. We have a 12-member team for investor relations, and when they generally talk to investors, or especially high net worth investors, there is a lot of things works in parallel, such as SSV Capital. We are taking a position in the market at the moment as an asset manager. More importantly, the way we are structuring ourselves, we potentially would go into an investment banking setup. So to explain that to an HNI investor or an angel investor is, if you're talking about a fund manager, they understand it. But when you talk about sophisticated high net worth investors, they take their time. But again, I have got a great team of expertise. They explain it well. If you look into our pitch deck with our financial forecast, what we are developing, why we are developing, more importantly, what makes you on the winning side, that everything has been detailed on the prospectus and the brochure, and they do understand. But yes, it's a right question to ask, that they do ask that what it is, because there are 4 different things working in parallel: SSV Capital, then the fintech and the prop tech, and then the funds. But the most important thing, what we suggest is we follow the current marketing trends. So if you follow the current marketing trends, and if you go on align with the fintech and the prop tech, obviously it's going to make a good investment foreseeable future. Yes.
Thank you very much for that one. I've just got one final question for you now.
Sure.
What do you think people can expect from you in the next couple of months? I guess you've already mentioned that we can expect SmartPay soft launching from tomorrow. Anything else people should be keeping an eye out for?
Oh, there again, the next 3-6 months again is very challenging, and I think probably when you will shoot me in the next 3-6 months, I will tell the same thing. But again, a lot of things were groundbreaking, and we have taken into the taxiway, and now we are waiting for actually to take the flight. So especially SmartPay, we will request any and everyone in the UK to help us to download our app. More importantly, the PropTech side of things, new innovation is coming through. I want to really talk more about it in our next statement, and more importantly in the funds. My concept is actually a focus, follow one course until success, up and until we make ourselves successful through SSV Capital, the fintech, PropTech and funds. We would not change our strategy, and the strategy behind us is very important for what we are doing within the next 3 to 6 months. So a lot of things is happening. A lot of things we have grafted on. We have done really well within the last 3-6 months. Investors are potentially very happy. We are talking to various different LPs. I can't name them, but they're big names. They're looking into investments. We are also potentially aiming to get backed by certain different VC companies as well. So the work what we are doing is reasonably getting appreciated. That's the most important thing. We have received few awards as a global asset manager, emerging company. Very recently, I was in India with the Times Group. They have awarded me on the Economic Times Inspiring Leader. Tomorrow, again, we are going to House of Commons. That's where we are launching. So several different things. The most important thing, it was a challenging time. We have overcome the challenging time, and the work which we have put on grounds were really, really appreciated by investors, by other syndicate of people. And we are looking forward for the next year, for the next 6 to 12 months, again, would be really amazing.
We look forward to having you back, Ankur. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me.